Dan here with Sway Designs Woodworking. On today's adventure, we're going to be creating a live edge cherry door. Starting things off, I tried to lay out my boards in a position or in an arrangement that sort of looked the best to me, and the very next thing I have to do is figure out how to make this live edge piece look correct. As you can see, it's very curved and there's no straight portion to this board at all. So what I'm going to do is pull a chalk line from the very corner all the way around to the very bottom, just so I have a reference plane. And it's basically just marking where the two widest points of this curved portion of the door are going to be. And then once I have my plane established, I can pull some set distance all the way down the board to get a straight line established. So that way I can start to make a straight board to then glue up to all these other boards to make a door. So what I figured out on this particular board is it wants to be around 8 inches from my chalk line here. So I marked that a couple times there at the bottom and here at the top, and next what I'll do is I'll strike a line and then we'll cut it. So with our plane established, due to the curved portion of this board that's kind of broken away, it ends up being that I end up wasting a lot of this board to make somewhat of a straight board that makes sense with the curvature of how this live edge is going to look on the door. So this is my chalk line here that I'm going to cut. So with a relatively flat reference edge established, now I can begin to lay out my boards to make them resemble a door. The client wants a door that's at least 42 inches wide. So I have to account for the curvature of the live edge and make the curve, the smallest portion of the curve, the minimum dimension of at least 42 inches wide. So in theory, this door will be wider than 42 inches, but that's okay. This is about what the door is going to look like in its final shape. And currently it's sitting at only about 39 inches, so I'll have to add another board, square this board up, and lay them out again to see where we're at. So this is finally starting to take shape and resemble something like a door. So after trimming the two live edge pieces to have somewhat of a straight edge to reference against, I could then take all of the intermediate boards and lay them out and stagger the patterns to match and kind of coerce one another. So then what I did is I just took some mineral spirits and I just threw some mineral spirits down on it real quick, just to kind of get the color to pop. So that way I could really see if this is what I wanted to be as the final door. And I'm pretty happy with what I got so far. So I'm gonna keep running with it and carry on to the next step, which is gonna be milling one surface of each one of these boards flat, jointing one surface, cutting them to the correct width in the table saw, and then using the planer to establish our final thickness. Stay tuned.
Now you're going to try to bring that back down to
where those grains met up nice. Because it was this. So this one will cut down.
So that'll be table saw.
That'll be table saw. So we'll joint this side.
So we'll bring the joiner out, right?
Yep. Except some of these, like this one, has like a serious curve in it. And like to take off a 1/2 inch of material with the joiner would take, you can do it, but it'd take a long time. So I think I might want to throw,
your guide on there.
yeah, and get like a straight reference line on some of these, on one side or the other. So we needed at least 42 in the narrow point, which I think was up here somewhere. I think it was like here-ish. Was our narrow point. So we're at 45 right now. So we have
What's this here?
40, almost 46.
Oh, okay.
So we're gonna lose
2 inches.
2 inches there.
So now you're down to 43, right?
Yep. So now we're 45 and a quarter-ish. Go up a little. That's like 45 right there. And you're gonna lose, you know, here we're not gonna lose that much. Well, you are. You're gonna lose a half an inch. You know, so you might lose an inch.
Now you lost, from that 45, you lost 3 inches.
Mm-hmm.
You're perfect with that.
I think so, yeah. It's gonna be really close, yeah. it.